Ooh, now I know it seems like I just did this, but this arrived in my inbox the very next day. So I have another unboxing for you. This time we have Pest. So in the game Pest, you are one of several plague doctors. And what you'll be doing is going around, healing people, rebuilding the community. There's a terrible plague that's taken over. And it's up to you to help people through that plague, rebuild the cities before they're destroyed, and kind of develop there. All right, so let's take a look at the shipping here. Packaging looks all right. Kind of loosely packed in here at the top. We've got this expansion. We've got this little bundle of expansion material. And then the primary game, all bubble wrapped up a little bit. Oh, this is completely flat on the bottom, so that wasn't really doing anything. There's a little bit of a bounce right here, but these have popped. All right, so let's get the bubble wrap off all this stuff. All right, and here we have it, my thumbnail. This is it, all these small components kind of taken out. And we'll go through all the extra stuff second. Sometimes it's fun to do the weird Kickstarter part of it first. But here's the general edition. This is what you'll get if you just buy the game as a retail copy. I'm not sure if there was a deluxe version, and if you get that, it just comes with this other stuff, or if it's like the retail version, then all, you know. I don't recall exactly how the SKUs went on this particular game, but here we have it, Pest. I bought this box primarily because this artwork was so cool on the front. I'm just kidding. I love the theme of this in general. It's the kind of thing that I like. I like these sort of dark themes, and it just struck me as a really interesting premise, you know, with the kind of the steampunk aspects of the plague doctors. I've always liked those plague masks. These masks, the real plague doctors, they're worse than people that wore masks like that. And what they would do is fill them with flowers and other kinds of things, because they believed that miasma, or that smell that kind of lingers around like Pokemon tournaments. But that terrible smell and stuff, that was what caused illness and sickness and stuff. And they weren't, I mean, they were completely wrong, but of course, you know, we do breathe in germs and things like that, and I don't think they had a understanding of that, but they would try to mask that miasma with flowers and stuff like that. So that's where the mask came from. All right, inside of here we have a player board. And we have the rule book. Can we see the rule book really well? All right. Got a nice listing of the components. Big words. This is one of the big floppy books. Some people really hate the big floppy books, but as long as I can read it really easily, I guess I don't mind. If I have to refer to a bunch of things, then, you know, sometimes these things are a pain to flip through very quickly. But it does look like a pretty good explanation of how the game works. Go all the way to the back. Got some references for the iconography. Is it the back of the book reference? No, the back of the book they did it with credits. I much rather when they do a quick reference in the back of these, and that's sort of maybe it's a nitpick. It's kind of like, you know, there's no index or anything either to go find what you need to find. And I'm not sure. I don't sure if I even saw like a little glossary in the front that says where to go to find things. So there's no help with this rule book as far as navigating it. So good luck if you're the one reading it. All right. And these are the cardboard chits. I'm not sure what my Deluxified components completely replace these or not. So I'm not going to punch any of these out. Let's pull it out and look at it. Usually if I've got deluxe components that completely replace these, then I'll save the space in the box and set this aside. But I do save it because I'm a total hoarder. Alright, so here's the boards. These are resources you get during the game. These are things that indicate that the buildings that you're building are creating these different resources. These are renown tokens. These are research tokens that you'll gather. The more of these you have, the more little cards you can get to kind of research and improve your abilities. These are coming out pretty easily by the touch. Yeah. It looks like they're cut okay. Of course, I can't be a full judge unless I pull them all out, but I'm not going to do that. It looks like probably some score markers and some other things. I'm sure some of this I'm going to need to pull out, but I'm going to set this aside for now, and I'll figure that out a little later. All right, so right here we have another player board. For some reason, I'm getting a real Frostpunk vibe off this like little sideboard. I mean, doesn't that remind you of like the Frostpunk sideboard, the way it's cut? So that'll be interesting. This game did seem like a bit of a table hog. When I saw at least in the preview copies that they had, these look like player aids, and these are a nice size player aid, not so small you can't read them. Like the little tiny cards are actually pretty small. I'm not even going to pull these out of the plastic. We can take a look at these some other time. But yeah, player aids are always good. I love that. And right here, it looks some sort of points track, most likely. I think on the prototypes, this ran around the board, but this sort of looks like that renown track, or it might be something else. And here we have, oh, the player boards. Okay. So these are the regular player boards, and I believe in this other pack over here, these will be dual layered, so it'll be interesting to compare those. So these are the regular player boards for the retail version. And here's the board itself. It's very, very dark. You know, I don't want to pull it completely out right now, although it seems enormous. Okay, maybe I will play it. I'll just pull it all out. Sean, what are you doing? It's like you kind of, once you're halfway there, you got to just keep going. So it's a pretty good sized player board. It's pretty large. The words are really easy to read, despite the fact that it's kind of dark. The roads seem a little bit difficult to make out. They're very understated compared to like these resources and stuff, and the white background, and these call-outs here of the cities and the towns and stuff. But it's not bad. It's the whole theme of this is kind of a dark. You know, plagues aren't like bright, happy times, so I don't mind that it's dark, but it might be a little dark for some folks, I guess. We've got a pencil in here for keeping score, I wager, and a little score pad. That's interesting. And we got some plastic bags for storing your chits. You put your chit in there. And we've got some meeple buildings. We've got meeple buildings and workers for different player colors. It looks like we've got a white, a yellow, a purple. My daughter will be happy with that. Got purple. And this is sort of an orange yellow, so my wife will like that. Yeah, we got blue. And then these are the sick folks. You can tell because they're green. I guess they could be sick and then healed, but they're like little teeny tiny meeple people. So there we go. All these player colors have it looks like some workers and some different buildings and stuff like that. Because in this game you'll be building buildings. You'll be putting your workers into different areas to designate your actions that turn. Oh, it looks like Looks like we also have a brown color. Okay. These are city meeples. These are replaced in part, supposedly, by this by a little plastic kit. I think this plastic kit is meant to sort of replace this, but there have been reports of some issues with this, so we'll take a look at that in a second. And but yeah, here's the building versions, the little meeple versions of those. We got little cutties right here. I bet these are for the different coins and things like that that are in the punch boards. And this is interesting. I've never seen a little lid locked on like that. But we got some miniatures in here. There's not very many miniatures in this at all. I'm going to paint them, so we'll definitely be taking a super close look at these later on, but just so you get a sense of it, we'll do it this way. So here we got Horsey Man. I call this guy, I also have a lantern. I call this guy, I'm on the case. I call this one, Wolverine. And I call this one, Man's Best Friend. So also in here we have the player color designators. These are little clip-on things so you know which player color relates to which of these, since they're all kind of just regular gray plastic. These are the hard plastic kind. These are not my favorite kind. I really like the silicone versions of these much better because they don't scratch up the models and stuff. But yep, that's them. All right, that fits right back on there. Here we have some other cards and another set of cards. Is there anything in here? Got like a little bin, obviously, to store something in there. So this deck of cards are the research cards, and these are the different things you can discover and invent to help improve your abilities and optimize your abilities. So we'll be going through all of these, but hey, here's a close look at least the one on the back here of this deck. It's a nice size deck of cards, and all of these will improve your abilities. They slot into specific areas on your board, and they'll be essential to optimizing your moves. This deck here, this large tarot-sized deck, I believe what this does, so there are different things that the city wants you to do between turns. And so that and a lot of the other kind of mechanics are put into these cards, these large tarot-sized cards. We're going to take just a quick look through there. I'm trying to avoid the glare the best I can. So some of these will be things that happen to you at the end of the round, and they declare what prizes go to the people that are ahead, or first and second, third place at the end of the round. And these will be these cards here represent things that the city wants you to do, and it sort of gives you a direction to go in on your turn. If you want to get renown, or you want to get if you want to get in good with the city elders. And I think these cards are indicate where the plague hits. So as you go on through the game, that plague's going to attack different areas. It's going to infect different areas of the map, and this tells you where to put those sick people. All right, and they've got a place for that right here in the box. There's no real room to add sleeves to these. Some people sleeve everything, even the big tarot cards and stuff. I don't see an area left over, any space left over to sleeve either of these, so just know that. All right, I'm going to put some of this stuff in here and move on to the next box. All right, so let's check out the Deluxe Pack. So as you can see on the back, it's going to have the wood version of some of these tokens, and so it's sort of the premium extra part of this game. It's what makes it deluxe. The other thing it's got is double layer boards for the player boards, so we'll look at that too. The Deluxe Pack. All right, here we go. All right, we got more bags for storage. That's important. And we've got the tokens. Doesn't look like a lot of tokens, but it probably, I'd say this replaces, yeah, I'm kind of seeing tokens for everything there. It's hard to believe all these pages of chits are replaced by this little bag, but I'll have to count them out and kind of see how it goes. And here's some more bags. And the dual layer boards. Oh yeah, I like this a lot better. In fact, this pack is mostly the dual layer boards, a couple of plastic bags, and this little bag of chits here. The chits look good. They look nice. And the dual layer boards look really nice too. I think it's the kind of thing that I'm not sure that this comparison will be as apparent on video, but here are the regular boards and here are the dual layered boards, and they've got holes cut in all the little places that the meeples go, and all these little resource points, and then these things down along the bottom that indicate how much of something you have. So this is like your bank, and it determines, like, I've got this many things of bread, I've got this many coins, I've got that much. So you just move the little tokens up and down here to keep count of your inventory. And that's sort of, it's not like it's made so you can move them between here, but it's also made to kind of corral them in so they don't, like, if they get bounced, they don't like end up off the track or anything. So that's kind of neat. And these areas here will be where you place your meeple. When you do an action, you're going to place it on this areas, and you're going to take an action that goes this way and this way. So you'll choose one combination of that and then another combination with that. So pretty neat. Sort of a different type of action selection system. I'll probably just put these aside. What I usually do is I take, if there's a separate box with all the deluxe content, then all the regular content just goes, that it replaces just goes in there. And that's how I'll store it. So there go my regular boards. And hopefully maybe I don't need any of these, but these will probably go in there too. And that's how I store my extra stuff. Okay, but what's next? So this, I think, is actually a different game. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I actually forgot all about this. This is Light in the Dark, and it is a dungeon crawl game. It's a solo dungeon crawl game, and because of that, I think I'm gonna talk about this more later, separately. So here it is. That's a little glimpse of the back of it. It's set in the world of Pest. So they kind of took their Pest theme and they applied it to this little solo dungeon crawler that looks really neat. Okay, I'm real excited about this too. And this was like an add-on thing. I think they did it after the campaign even. And I added it in, and then I completely forgot that I did. So look forward to this pretty soon. Light in the Dark. Okay, I'm going to just skip right by that. All right, and here's another little supplement. This is this is the event card pack, because I'm cheating as I read the side of it. And this, what does it say? It says on the bottom, this mini expansion adds 12 road event cards to the game for your far-traveling plague doctors to explore. Uncover interesting mysteries, help people along your journey, and maybe you will gain some benefits too. So that's a little mini expansion. And last but not least, we have a miniature of the center of this board. So this board kind of centers around this city. And you can send some of your people to the city to get influence and gain some advantages. Some renown, if you will, and other things. And you can also build different buildings inside of the city to get more renown and to get more popular. So this is... this was definitely extra. I'm having trouble remembering off the top of my head how much extra. There's a little description of the pieces. This shows you the meeples that they replace, that these different buildings replace, because it might not be obvious. Yet more plastic bags. Boy, they were not shy about the amount of plastic bags. We've got little buildings. These look like the player colors, probably to denote ownership or majority over different areas here. And this is the center of town. Just taking a quick look. I can't tell what this is molded out of. It's pretty hard. It is kind of neat. It looks like a little city, little buildings, city buildings inside. So I'm going to pull these out and just kind of put them into here so it's really easy to see them. And these are the different little city segments. I'm not sure why they come separated, but there are little slots, so they supposedly fit into these slots. I gotta say, unless there's a gameplay reason for them to be separated, I could see myself just kind of gluing this down. This part anyway. Yeah, they don't fit real pretty. If that indeed goes right there. Let's see, that says 5, that says 3, so no it doesn't. Let's see here. What does this say? 2. Oh, there's 5. There's these little buildings that replace the meeples. Take a look at those real quick. Okay. These are kind of neat. These are kind of neat. They don't seem terribly warped or anything. It doesn't seem to fit. Oh, yeah, it does. There it goes. It only fits a particular way. Yeah. I like the look of that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm real tempted to add magnets to these. It would be kind of tricky with the hollow ones. But you could, in theory, perhaps add some little magnets to these things. Make them a little less shaky out here. Because it's funny, if you rotate them around, you'll find a place where they fit. And most of these fit in pretty good. Got this little teeny tiny one here. All right. Well, that seems to do okay. And that's interesting looking. This one's a little shaky in here, but it's fitting. I'll bring it in closer. And there we have the little city. As you can see, this one's a little wobbly. The other ones seem to fit in there great. This one needs some help. I'm going to take some of these buildings off. I want to see if I can slot in these things around the side. This was a big complaint with a few people. I think it was either this didn't work right. Oh, okay. Let's take all the buildings off and just kind of deal with this here. So 5 goes there. 4. Okay. Assume that's a 3. 2. And 1. Ooh. It definitely doesn't lock into place. If you apply a little bit of pressure, it seems to, it almost works. Yeah, I'll have to check and see if there's a gameplay reason that these things go in. They did offer up in compensation the 3D files, so you could 3D print this thing yourself. And I don't know if that means that they'll eventually send another one of these out or something, but it's definitely it definitely doesn't seem like a premium component. The other complaint was that these little faction flags wouldn't fit inside of these things, so we're gonna just try that out and see. I'm just gonna pick one at random here. See if I can put the flag in it. Okay. So that one holds a flag just fine. And this one holds a flag just fine. That one holds a flag just fine. This one also seems alright to me. And the very last one, oh yeah, this one just barely does. So this one would have to be worked on some. I don't know if there's a gameplay reason this is disassembled. If there is, then maybe I'll clean it up and use magnets to attach these and do a little reshaping and stuff. See, I'm a hobbyist. I work with models all the time. This would not be my most challenging model to put together. But I do want to paint this because I tell you what, a lot of what attracted me to this game in the Kickstarter, I mean, aside from this cover, which is just amazing, was the city. And like, that's the first thing you see in the video for this, is the city kind of shining down, and little miniatures, these little buildings like being set into it and stuff like that, and people being added. So if there's no gameplay reason for this to be disassembled, I'm going to assemble all of this and hard model it, and just kind of take this as a kit, and I'll do it. If I do that, I'll post a video about it. I do occasionally share painting videos and stuff like that. I'm not like, I'm not the best painter ever, you know, on YouTube. Definitely, I'm not. But I do like to share the work that I do, and sometimes maybe it's interesting for some people, or inspiring for some people to see like what I chose for colors and how I approached different sets of models. If you like unboxing videos, I just unboxed Harrow County yesterday, in fact. So I 2 unboxings, 2 games delivered just like back to back. It's been a great week for me. 2 things I really anticipated a lot. I'm real excited to get this on the table. It looks like every bit the table hog that it looked like on the preview, so it'll be interesting to see if I could even film it, but I'd love to do some more content for that. If you'd like to see something like that, be sure to subscribe. There's lots of more unboxing videos for you over here. Until next time, enjoy your games, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.